It's time to begin our practice, our self-care practice for today. So coming back to your chair, if you're not already there, and sitting in such a way that you have some space behind your back and the back of the chair, yet you are feeling completely supported by the chair. I'm going to make my way there. And while we're here, let's let our knees be stacked over our ankles and our shoulders be stacked over our hips and our neck, not our knee in line with our spine, please. Our necks in line with the spine, and let the spine be long and supple. And you could even do a little adjustment from side to side if you sense that you're kind of sitting to one side a little bit. One shoulder's higher than the other. Maybe give those shoulders a little roll back and down if you tend to hold them forward. And you can close or soften your eyes and just take a little scan of the body, noticing any areas that are calling for your attention. And this could be because you are experiencing dis-ease in an area, but it could also be because some area or areas of the body are feeling particularly easeful, joyful, comfortable, or happy today. We want to notice both. Once you've kind of taken stock, taken in that information, you can begin to become aware of your breath, and you can keep your eyes closed or softened. It just helps us to tune into what's going on within and just engaging with the breath, noticing the breath, first of all, without changing anything, noticing where you feel it. Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it easeful? Is it forced, smooth, ragged, or any other words that you want to put to it? We're not judging, we're just noticing. And then we're going to do a little breathing practice called Nadi Shodhana. And we may have done this before, I can't remember, with hand mudras, but we are just going to do it with visualization and awareness today. So your hands can be in a position that is comfortable for you. And keep your eyes closed so you can keep your attention going from inwards to outwards. So it's the somatic awareness. And first bring your attention to your right nostril, and you can take a regular inhalation, and then as you exhale as though the breath was coming out only through the right nostril. And then on your next inhalation, think of it coming in through the left nostril, and then exhaling through the left nostril, and then inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling through the left, inhaling through the left nostril, exhaling through the right nostril, inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling through the left nostril, inhaling left, exhaling right. And you can let this be your last round. We just want to be able to exhale through the left nostril to finish off, just so that we can be sure that we have done everything, both sides, in an even way. You know, we're keeping balanced. And then return to your natural breath and just pause and notice how that breathing practice has affected you, how you're feeling at this moment. There's no right or wrong. And probably, if nothing else, you might be feeling a little more connected to sensing the breath in the nostrils. And then as you're ready, you can slowly and comfortably open your eyes. Sit and let the head be balanced on the top of the cervical spine so that we're not head forward and we're not chin up. We're in balance. The way that we're meant to sit, but the way that we don't often sit. We're going to do a little spinal dance. I can't remember if I've done this with you before. I'm sorry. I know I've done it with other classes. It's going to be, because I have the arms of the chair here, it's going to impede me a little bit, but I'm going to do my best. And of course, if you would like to do this standing, you're most welcome to do it standing as well. So it actually begins like an arch and curl because we're going to do the six movements of the spine. So flexion is where we curl. And the hands can rest on the thighs and they'll just slide along the thighs as we move. And then inhaling up to neutral and then arching, extension. Come back to neutral first before we do our side bends. So inhaling, right arm can come up, and maybe it's just coming to a cactus arm shape to begin, and exhaling towards the left, and then coming back to neutral. And then inhaling the right arm up into a cactus position, and you feel your center lengthen up. That's what we want. We want this lengthening to happen before we bend towards the side. Otherwise, we're just going to create a crunching happening in this side, a collapse happening in the bent side, and that lacks integrity. And coming back to center, so we always want to have integrity. And this time we're going to come into just a gentle twist. Please don't force yourself into any shapes. It's a gentle twist. This is meant to be a bit of a warm up. And remembering that twisting really is only meant to happen from about here up. There's very little movement side to side, like fractionally, of the low spine. And people can get into trouble when they try to twist from that low spine. So it's really from up here that the twisting is happening. So I'm putting right hand on left shoulder, and then I'm just going to bring my left arm out to the side. Now, if I didn't have an arm on the chair, I might bring my left hand to the back of the chair or the seat of the chair, or even to my back. But that's just awkward with the arm here. Just gentle twist towards the left, inhaling to center, and then switching the arms and making a gentle twist towards the right. So 6 movements of the spine. So let's do that 2 more times, that spinal dance. And this is a great thing that you could do every day. Just remember to be gentle and let the spine open and do its thing easily. So flexion, curl. Inhale up, extension, and we open the chest towards ceiling, back to neutral. We're going to side bend towards the left, and you can have your arm in the cactus, or you can let it be longer. See what feels right for you. Back to center. And lengthening the arm up, lengthening the torso up. And side bending to the other side. Arm floats down. We'll come into a gentle twist towards the left. I am putting my hand on my back this time. Isn't that funny? This is how I do it when I stand up. So it just, the brain habits, twisting in the other direction and coming back to neutral. So one more time, remember, no force of any kind, no compression, no tension in the low spine. So make sure you're sitting on your sits bones so that your spine isn't rounded. It only has the natural curves that it's meant to have. And we'll curl into flexion. Inhale to neutral. Arch, extension. Inhale to neutral. Lengthen up. Side bend to the left. Lengthen up. Arm floats down. We're back in neutral. We always want to start from this position of integrity. Inhale, left arm up. Spine gets long. And side bending right. Inhaling back to center. Let the arm float down. And we'll come into our first twist. Twisting to the left. Back to neutral. And twisting to the right. That's the spinal dance. Now, I'm going to do some Tai Chi arms. So we haven't done that for a little while. You might not remember how to do that, but basically we're going to float the arms up to about shoulder height on an inhalation. And then we can turn our heads, look towards the left palm, which is turned up towards the ceiling. Unless that feels really uncomfortable for you, then you can have palm down, but generally it's palm up. And we're going to let the fingers of the right hand touch the shoulder. So the elbow has to bend in order for that to happen, doesn't it? And we'll inhale, come back to center. The right arm opens out. And exhaling, turn head towards the right palm. And the left fingers come to the shoulder. Inhaling back to center, both arms are long. Exhaling, we turn to look towards the left again, and the right fingers come to the shoulder. So we're just moving with the breath from side to side, alternating. Notice what your shoulders are telling you. They might be getting tired. They might be moving in a slightly ragged fashion. So is it smooth or not? And might be telling you one has a different range of motion than the other. Might feel cracking in the neck. Take a rest. If you need to take a rest, you're good to go. Keep going. Notice if your shoulders want to rise up towards your ears. The longer you do this, maybe because it's getting more challenging as the arms tire out. And notice if you're breathing easily. We want to make sure that we do the same number on each side. So this is going to be the last time we look towards the left. Easeful breath. And the last time we look towards the right. Easeful breath. And then both arms open out, head comes to center. And just let those arms float down. Take a little rest here. The arms worked really hard. Now, if you think you would benefit from doing a little shaking of the arms, and the hands and the wrists, the shoulders, and maybe even get into a little bit of a shimmy, then you are welcome to do that. If sitting still is what's going to work for you, then do that. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls. Let's start by rolling the shoulders back. about 3 times. It worked surprisingly hard in doing those Tai Chi arm movements. And then let's switch directions, circle forward about 3 times. This gives them a little love, lubricates the shoulder joints, and then let the shoulders settle back. Let's do some hugs. I'm going to sit a little further forward on my chair just because I have these arms and I have the table here, but the table has my notes, so I need that. So still making sure that my ankles are stacked under my knees. So arms float out on an inhalation, and on an exhalation, just wrap ourselves up in a hug. So for me, my elbows meet and my hands come to around that tender spot in my shoulders. That might not be the case for you. Your hug might look more like this. That's okay. Just do your hug, your version, and sense those shoulder blades gliding away from each other across the back, the space that is being created. You could also regard this as a moment for self-care, to just send yourself a little love or whatever else it is you need today, compassion maybe, patience, breathing easily. Now let's keep the elbows together or as close as they are together for you, and release the hands so that the backs of the forearms are coming towards each other. The backs of the hands might touch. They do for me, but that doesn't mean they will for you. It might look more like this, and that's okay. And while we're here, let's take this opportunity to let the elbows lift together and then lower together. And you can do this with the breath. You can lift on an inhalation. You can lower on an exhalation. How does this feel for your shoulders? If it's too much, take a rest. Even pause the video. Let's let this be our last time we're raising up and lowering down. And then let's unravel our arms and open them out wide. And then we're going to hug ourselves again, but with the other arm on top. So hopefully you paid attention to which arm was on top last time. For me, it was the left. So this time I'm going to hug myself and have the right arm on top. And the hug might look a little different. It might feel a little different. That's okay. Breathing easily. Thinking about self-care. Maybe even taking a little time to work those fingertips into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the upper arms, a bit of a massage. And then when you're ready, release the fingers, release the hands, keep the elbows together. Allow the backs of the forearms and the backs of the hands to come towards each other. I mean, they might not touch, and that's okay. I'm peeking through my hands to look at you. You can still do the inhaling, lifting the arms up, exhaling, letting them lower down. We're letting go of perfection. Always breathing easily. 2 more times. Last one. Feeling that glide of the shoulders. And then come to stillness. Release the arms, the hands, unravel. Let the arms float out to the side. And as you exhale, let's bring the palms together in Namaste. Let's just stay here for a moment. Let's feel our feet on the earth. Is the weight distributed evenly? Are the toes all touching the floor? And let's sense our buttocks on the chair. And are they weighted evenly in the chair? And let's notice where our shoulders are. And are they forward? Are they more back? Or are they centered? Is there a sense of them being balanced between forward and back? And let's notice the head again and how it's sitting on top of the spine. And is there a sense of balance there? And how this head is sitting, not forward, not back, but centered. When we are coming from a place of balance and centeredness, we can move forward, we can move sideways, we can move backwards if we want to, without causing harm, with the whole self, not just the seeking self. One more breath here, appreciating this balance, this centeredness. And on an exhalation, you can release your hands, put them in a comfortable position, perhaps in your lap, perhaps the hands are resting on top of each other, palms facing towards the ceiling and thumb tips touching. Whatever works for you, whatever feels right for today. We are going to experience a brief Savasana now, a rest period, which is so important. Balancing activity and rest, another opportunity to balance. So please close or soften your eyes. Bring your attention once again to your breath. And without controlling the breath, allow it to be completely easeful and effortless. And we'll just watch the breath. Beautiful breath that sustains us, keeps us alive. And we'll count backwards from 5 each exhalation. You don't need to hurry. Experience the fullness of the breath and of this moment and of this opportunity for self-care. Even drawing attention to the breath is an opportunity for self-care. And when you get to 0, you can stop counting the breath. Notice how you feel. Relaxed, perhaps, hopefully balanced and centered. And as you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. And we'll bring our hands to Namaste to close the class. The light within me sees and acknowledges the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. As always, if you have any questions at all, please, or any kind of feedback, please do feel free to text or email me. I'm always happy to hear from you. Have a great week, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. Thank you. Bye.